basics: positivity, motivation, never settle for average. You know, we do it over here. I had watched this clip on Instagram, and I found it was something I want to share with you guys. Check it out.
I think only men should be homeless. I don't think women should be
you.
allowed to be homeless. Men need to toughen up, and I think if men were forced to be homeless, they would learn how to be better men. Because that's what made men manly in the past, was having to build houses and stuff.
Especially because we don't force men to do military anymore like they used to. They make them homeless for a year. Let's see how they fucking...
Yeah, make them just figure it out. But make them homeless in a country where they don't know the language. And that way they really have to go through something.
Posts like this. What's going on? And I look at the narrative to demasculinize men, and then I read the comments of a lot of the young men that post on my videos. I can see why a lot of them prefer to just be single and just hook up and not make a commitment, because they are hearing this type of conversation and it's not something they want to attach themselves to. No man wants to feel like he's not wanted or he is not valued in a relationship. From the beginning of civilization, men have built humanity on their shoulders. They have created shelter. They have went out and hunted. They have protected. When you talk about the elements of nature, wild animals, it was the man who kept the family safe. And with this type of talk and on top of the incentivized nature to get a free handout to keep the man out the household, you can see why a lot of men just choose not to even get married these days, let alone have a child with someone like this. And they say within the next 20, 30 years, over 40% of the women are going to be single. They're not going to even be able to find a man. So this type of talk, this type of mentality it's not gonna play out in the long run. And I don't see any woman being happy in her late 40s, 50s, 60s alone with a bunch of other women talking shit about men, about how a man needs to be homeless in a foreign country so he can understand the values of a woman. What about the values of a man? What about the men who bust their ass to do the right thing? The men who are father figures, the men who raise their children, the men who want a better life, the men who have sacrificed to protect our nation, the men who have put their lives on the line. You know, I heard some women saying something about men one time, and all that went out the window when one of them had their car broken into and their little scooter stolen, because they're not going to be able to fend off the perpetrator. It's going to be a man to come in there and bust some heads. And no matter how many pretend toys or fake AI dolls they come out with, it's not going to replace the real thing. It's not going to replace the flesh and blood man. The conversations at night, the making you feel secure, making you feel protected, the confiding. See, you confide in your girlfriends and you tell them that you do have a strong man, they're going to take him. They're going to go right behind your back and they're going to give him some booty. So for all you women that talk shit about men and you think that when you find a good man, it's going to be easy to keep him, think again. Good men nowadays, they got about 2 or 3 side chicks because a woman would rather be a side chick to a good man than to be a lonely woman that's bitter and angry. And I'm not saying every woman is like that. I'm just pointing out that this post was very disturbing because you have a lot of men who are dealing with a lot of mental challenges, things as far as having, maybe served in the military and in combat. And now they're coming back and they're dealing with just not being able to get a job or feeling like they're not worthy. No man wants to feel like he's not wanted or he's not significant in a relationship. So when you beat down men and you say that they're not worthy, and then you say when you do see one that's got his shit together, you thinking you're gonna throw all the booty and all the everything else on him and he's just gonna fall in love. He's already been stepped on quite a few times, so he knows that it's just a knock. You know what I mean? It's just a cheek bust. He ain't gonna wife that because you don't want to give him the time of day when he was trying to build his character, when he was going through adversity, when he was facing challenges to find himself. A lot of times it takes men a little longer to find themselves. A lot of young guys are still trying to, find their way, find their path. It's not as easy. A woman, she wake up, she's beautiful, she does her thing. She can ride in a Ferrari, she can get on a yacht, she can travel in a private jet. She doesn't have to do anything but be sexy and be able to hold a decent conversation. Not to say that there aren't women out there who are very educated, who are in professional positions, but I'm talking about, a woman, a guy, good looking, shit, man, you better still have some bread. You better have you a hustle. You better have you some type of way to make income. But for a woman, being beautiful and supporting her man will get her in a door, will get her in a house, will put a roof over her head. But you still, at the end of the day, need that man to protect you. You think you want to go to bed every night and cuddle up with an old dog or old cat and think that that's going to be enough? You don't want the warmth of a man next to you. You don't want to be able to wake up and see that you got somebody there who's going to protect you, somebody who's willing to go to bat for you, somebody who's going to have your back. You're saying men don't appreciate good women? There are a lot of men out there who appreciate good women, but they're just trying to tear men down, and they want a nation full of weenies. They want a bunch of emotional bitches. And one of the reasons they want that because it's easier to control a man who's ran off his emotions. They don't want strong men. That's why they, like I said earlier, they incentivize by not having a man in the house, because if a young boy predominantly being raised by a woman, he will have a lot of feminine tendencies. A strong man that had a dad in his life, that had a father figure, he's going to see through all the bullshit. He's going to know how to rationalize. He's not going to act off emotion. He's not going to be as quick to go commit an act of violence, to do something stupid, because he's going to think about the consequences. But when you're emotional, you just do shit. You fly off the handle and then think about it afterwards. Study your history, man, and see what men have really done in this world. Yeah, men have went to war, men have killed, men have died, but men have also blessed with innovation. Men have also helped raise beautiful children. Men have also protected and died in that action of protection. Strong men, they're not as easy to come by as you think. So when you keep beating them up, and I have a feeling that post is going to haunt those women, because when a man sees that and reflects on who he's with, he might think twice, like, you know what, she's not worthy. Because not everybody's worthy. Some of these women don't deserve a good man, just like some of these men don't deserve a good woman. There are good men out there and there are good women out there, but the whole institution of being married and being committed and staying with somebody for 30, 40, 50 years, I see that going out the door, man. You know, I look at my grandparents' generation, you know, through the ups and downs, they stayed together and they worked through it, and they didn't just throw things away. They tried to keep the family together through thick and thin. Nowadays, there's none of that. You see it all the time. You know, you see these men out there and they're like, oh, you know, if, you know, given a chance, would you do this, or would you leave your girlfriend for this? And the man is like, oh man, you know, I would work it out. A lot of the men, you know, they will work it out if they have a good woman. But these women, you see them, celebrity come up, athlete, they're gonna let them bust their cheeks, man. You see it all the time. I seen a woman with her man, and she thought the guy was a professional football player, and she was down for the cuck. She was down for the cuckold. And a lot of these women want a man who's down for the cuckold, because that way they can have their cake and eat it too. I've seen them. I met a lot of them. Dude is an earner. They got kids together. They travel a couple times a year. But she's getting her cheeks busted left and right. That's what a lot of these women want. They want somebody who's going to let them get their cheeks busted, but be able to pretend on the surface that they are the perfect wife. Men out there, you know what I'm talking about. You bulls, you studs out there who service these type of women. You know, you wouldn't marry them, but you will bust their cheeks. And that's why a lot of these guys are staying single. It's a numbers game, finding that good woman out there who's going to have your back, who's going to support you, and who's going to really feel that you are her yang to her yin and yang. You don't always agree. You might not always see eye to eye, but when shit gets serious, you know you have a confidant, someone that's not going to sell you out. Do you want to be in your 40s, 50s, your late 30s, single, lonely, wishing that you had somebody, and then talking shit about men because you can't find a good one? Maybe it's not them. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's something you need to change. Maybe you got to change your attitude and what you put out into the universe so you can find you a good guy. But to say that every man needs to be homeless so that he will know what it's like to go through struggles and you know, because a man doesn't go to war. Do you know what war is? Going into the military, you know, a lot of guys do that because that is their maybe only option to get an education and pay for maybe their first house, and they're trying to finance some shit, but they're doing it and they're carrying the woman with them. And even those women, man go out to see, or he'd be deployed, they getting their cheeks busted at the club. They getting hit by everybody on base, and they come back and pretend that everything's all good. Man, I tell you, you strong men out there, find you a strong woman. And you women out there, be careful what you say when it comes to demasculizing men, you know, talking down on men, because you're going to need a good man by your side one day. You're going to need a man who's going to believe in you, who's going to pick you up when you're down, when you're feeling low, and make you feel that you're beautiful when you're old. You're going to want that man, because you're not going to get it from your female friends, because they're all going to be miserable, and they're going to be all drowning in their own misery, and they want you to be miserable with them. You know how many women right now are jealous when they see a woman with a good man, and she sees that man truly loves her? You know how many women wish they had that sparkle that they see in that woman's eye when her man holds her hand and kisses her and rubs her back while they're at dinner or at a function? Women yearn for that, man. Don't think that you don't want it. Don't think that just because you run around, you getting your cheeks busted, that's going to supplement that. At the end of the day, you're going to want that good man. So women out there, be careful what you say. And before you just start putting down every man out there saying this and that, realize that you might be one of those women who will never find a man that really cares about you, that loves you, that lifts you up, that puts you on a pedestal, that worships the ground you walk on because he truly cares about you and he's willing to do what it takes to protect you. Because a man is the backbone of society and a relationship. Believe that. And I, like I said, these young men out there, hey, I know you got it tough, but don't give up. Don't give up on finding that good woman, man. She's out there. But this is a conversation we need to have, and more dialogue needs to happen. Put down your phones, turn off your social media, and talk. It's not about bashing one side or the other side. It's about finding that commonality so that you can find that love and grow old together with somebody who really cares about you, who will take care of you, and possibly have to wash your ass when you get older and you can't wash it for yourself. BigHerc916, leave a comment, share the channel, support, subscribe. Go to BigHerc916.com and grab you a bar of soap so you can wash your own ass.
Are you tired of smelling funky? Have you washed your ass? Go to BigHerc916.com and get your nutsack right.
Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight-A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gangbanging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.